Welcome one and all. Sabhi ko namaste. Good evening. So, welcome all friends, co-explorers, family members in this weekly follow-up of UHV, Universal Human Value, Module 1 of SIP. We have our source person and co-explorer, Sunil Bhaiya and Iladidi with us. Ji, Sunil Bhaiya, namaste. Welcome.
Namaste, Parikshit Bhaiya.
Ji, namaste, namaste. Bhaiya. Over to you.
Co-explorers, yeah.
Thank you, Bhaiya. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ji, welcome.
Namaste to all.
Namaste.
Namaste to all.
Namaste to all other co-explorers, panelists as well as students. So, by the previous Wednesday's meeting, we have finished the UHV 1 sessions. In the previous day's meeting, we discussed about natural environment. Today, what we do is we go for a recap of all the sessions from session 1 to session 12 in that. And from next week onwards, we will restart module 1 from session 1 onwards. That is roughly the plan. So before we go into the recap of all the sessions, if we have any new members joined in the attendees list, they can introduce themselves and they can give their sharing. If some members who have attended the previous students workshop, which concluded on 11th of June, they can introduce themselves and they can give their sharing. That can be the first thing. Those who have attended those who are attending this meeting for the first time, can you raise your hands? Yeah, we have a couple of hands raised. Sushma Kumari ji, Pavan Kumar ji. Yeah. Santosh Kumar ji. So you have attended the workshop from 6th to 11th of June. Do you have any sharing to the co-explorers? Mic is given to some of the participants. So if you have any sharing or if you have any questions, anything which you would like to share right now, we can do it before we start the recap of all the sessions. It is good that many students who have attended the recently concluded workshop have joined the weekly meetings. It is a good platform to revisit the content bit by bit and self-explore accordingly. So if anybody would like to give you a sharing, we will keep the floor open for that right now.
It will be nice if all of you all can share one by one. It will help us also. Maybe Sunil Bhaiya, you can just call out the name.
Yeah, that can be done. Yeah, Nagaraju ji, Kondapalli Nagaraju ji, are you there? You have been given the mic. Revati Jagadish ji, are you available? Or Santosh Kumar ji, anybody? Yeah, Nagaraju ji, please. You unmuted just now.
Sir, I am in traveling, sir. Just 5 minutes. I will go to hospital.
Okay, fine. That's fine. Revati ji, you would like to share something? Or Santosh Kumar ji? Santosh Kumar ji, yeah, please go ahead.
Sure. Today only I am attending my first
Good evening.
session.
Yeah.
So today only I am attending my first session.
Okay, fine. So, did you attend the students workshop from 6th to 11th?
In April, sir.
You attended in April. Okay, fine, fine. So after that, okay, you are attending the weekly meetings for the first time, right? Okay, that's nice.
Yes, sir.
Any expectations in your mind while you attend the program? Anything which you would like to share? Any expectations in your mind while attending this weekly meeting?
Or also any important takeaway that you've had from the April workshop, which you would really like to share with us?
Understanding other feelings and their ambitions, goals.
Other feelings, right?
Other feelings and how they are.
Okay, the feelings in relationship and how they are affecting or how they're useful to you. That's it. That's what you said.
Yes, sir.
Nice, nice, nice. Very good. Okay, Santosh Kumar ji. Thank you. I can keep it open. You can share any time which say the mic is given to you already, so you can share any time which you in between also you can share. Right? Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Anybody else would like to share something? Shalini ji is there. Revati ji is there. Sushma Kumari ji is there. You have been given the mic. Raila Srihari ji is there. Okay, Iladidi, shall we go ahead with the session? Then in between, let them share anytime.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, okay, thank you. So as as I initially told you, what we are going to do is a recap of all the sessions, all the students induction program sessions, which we usually do in the students workshop as well as in the students induction program. Okay, what we do initially is welcome and introduction by all the co-explorers, by the student participants as well as the teacher co-explorers. That is what we do in the beginning. So then we go into the second session after that, exploring our aspirations and concerns. So in that, this is the steps towards basic aspiration. So if you start from our present effort, then expect to become something that is what you wish to be. If it is asked to the students, you may say like you want to become an engineer, you want to become a doctor, you want to become something else, you want to become a lawyer, you want to become a teacher, or something and something, just like that. Then what do you expect from that? Then the usual responses would be like you want money, you want to get some name or fame or other things. That is what is coming in this say number 3, the step number 3. And then if you are asked to explore further, usually the response would be you want to become happy and prosperous. That is the underlying thing, or that is the basic aspiration of every human being. So we come to that finally. We explore through our present effort, what you expect to become and what you expect to get or do something. From that, we reach here, expect to be happy and prosperous. So the basic human aspiration of every human being, that is proposed as continuity of happiness and prosperity. And then we, to achieve the basic aspiration, we work backwards. So this is the basic aspiration. From there, we see what we expect to or get to do. Is it actually matching with the basic human aspiration? And then we see what do we expect to become. And then our present effort can be directed towards that. That is the steps towards basic aspiration. The right way is to move from 4 to 1. That is what we discussed in the second session. Okay. That is elaborated here in these statements, as you can see in these proposals. The basic aspiration of every human being is continuity of happiness and prosperity. The right way to proceed is to be clear of the basic aspiration first, and then decide the program to fulfill it. So the purpose of this entire workshop is there is a gap between what to do and how to do. How to do is what is being discussed in our institutions, but what to do part is not being discussed in detail. So the what to do part is now getting clear through this value education. So values are missing in education. So value added or value based education is what is envisaged here. So value of a human being is his participation in a larger order. So we discuss about that also in detail later. Yeah, so the right way to proceed is to be clear of the basic aspiration, that is continuous happiness and prosperity, and then we connect our present effort with that. At the level of implementation, there can be several ways in terms of becoming something, doing or getting something to fulfill the basic aspiration. So there are various ways from our present effort to go to the basic human aspiration. Somebody may choose some way, and if you fail in that way, if somebody fails in some way, they can choose another way also. But the final destination or what we want to be is to become happy and prosperous in continuity. That is what we propose here in this second session. And in the whole workshop that is proposed and the process is being discussed in detail. Many a times the favorable paths chosen by students might be based on some borrowed notion or sensation. So somebody may tell you which path is to be chosen. Maybe sometimes you take a program, you choose a program based on certain sensations, and the students need help in exploring all the possibilities. So this is actually to help you in exploring by yourself to reach the basic human aspiration. That is the content of the second session. Then further, we go ahead with basic human aspiration and their fulfillment. There we see these basic parameters to live in harmony, the program to fulfill the basic human aspiration, right understanding, right relationship with other human being, and physical facility with the rest of the nature in this priority order. So we require right understanding and right relationship to live in harmony with other human beings, leading to mutual happiness. I will be happy if I go in this path, and you also will be happy. So mutual happiness can be ensured with this. And if the physical facility, whatever it is, let it be your house, let it be your vehicle, let it be your say books, or let it be your other articles, whatever it is, whatever, say your clothes, whatever. The physical facility, if it is chosen with right understanding, if it is ensured with right understanding, and with the rest of the nature, we can live in harmony with the rest of the nature. This will lead to a feeling of prosperity in us. So mutual prosperity is the result. When we say right understanding, it is the understanding of harmony in all the four levels of our being, at the human being level or the individual level, the family level, the society level, and the nature and existence level. These are the things which are going to be discussed next in the coming sections. So when we say we verify the proposals and then we live in harmony at all the four levels, then mutual happiness and mutual prosperity can be ensured. That is the main or key proposals which we do in this particular section, the section number 3, right? Further, we discuss about what is happiness and prosperity in this particular session. Happiness is proposed as to be in a state of harmony, and unhappiness is to be in a state of, to be forced to be in a state of contradiction. So we can see whenever we are in any kind of an activity or interaction between the other human being or with rest of the nature, we can evaluate ourselves to see whether we are in harmony or we are in a state of contradiction. If we are in opposition with somebody else, when we are in interaction, we can see that we are in disharmony, that is leading to unhappiness. So when we are forced to be, so that is actually beyond our natural acceptance. That is why the term forced to be is given there. It is not actually following our natural acceptance. Natural acceptance is something which is innate in everyone. that is invariant of time, place, and person. And you can always refer to that innate faculty to get response to maybe a problem which you have. So whenever you have a problem with you, so you can always refer inside what is right for you. And what is, if it is right for you, it will be right for the other person also. Later we will see that I am similar to the other, or the other person is similar to me. So this feeling will also be ensured in me. And then we can see that the natural acceptance is same for every person at any time and at any place in the world. So you don't need to refer to any book or any Google to see or to refer to the natural acceptance. Well, when we refer to the natural acceptance, then we can move from this unhappiness to happiness. So happiness is to be in a state of harmony. Then when we discuss about prosperity, it is proposed as the feeling of having or more than having or producing more than required physical facility. All of us have done this exercise of counting our clothes, right? How many clothes do I have? So most of us have recognized that we have more than required number of clothes. That means that when we have a feeling that we have more number of clothes and we have more, say, articles with us, then if you have the feeling of sharing the excess number of clothes or excess number of articles with somebody who is deprived, that is what is meant to be as the feeling of prosperity. And the feeling of prosperity is in the self of a human being. We discuss about self and body sooner than later in the coming, let's say, lectures. So a prosperous person thinks of right utilization, nurturing the other. Whereas a deprived person will think of accumulation and exploiting the other. That is a proposal. So that is the content of the session number 3. And then in session number 4, we discuss about aspirations and concerns.
Maybe if there are any questions so far, we can take that.
Yeah. So just go through the, say, session proposals, which are the main proposals only. In between, if you have any questions, you can raise your hand and you can ask. So something very key things are being discussed now. The basic human aspiration is happiness and prosperity in their continuity. Then happiness is to be in harmony. Prosperity is having or producing more than required physical facility. Right. So any questions? Whenever you have a question, you can either type that in the chat box or you can unmute yourself and speak. Okay. Sagar is typing, no questions so far. Ashutosh Bajpayee.
Yeah, Ashutosh.
Namaste, Bhaiya. One thing is happiness is being in harmony, and another is happiness is being in the things which are naturally acceptable to me. What is the difference between these two? When I say the thing is naturally acceptable to me, or second thing is when I say I am in harmony.
Yeah. When you say I am in harmony, is it naturally acceptable to you?
Yes, always.
Yeah. So harmony is something which is naturally acceptable to me. I do not want to be in disharmony, right? So disharmony is not naturally acceptable to me, to you, and to everyone. Right. So whatever is when I say I'm in harmony, that whatever is applicable to harmony will be naturally acceptable to me. Say I want to be respected, I want to nurture my body, all these things. These are actually putting me in harmony.
Right. We have to. Is it right that naturally acceptable things will bring me in harmony only?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so we will see the recap of session number 4, aspirations and concerns at the individual level. So when students join in their institution, they have plenty of concerns like this. Some of them are listed here. You can add to this: coming out of stress, managing pressure of academics, time management, time lost due to illness, entertainment, domination of one gender by another, pressure of placement, overcoming negative thinking, attending classes, peer pressure, temptations, anger, depression, so many. These are only some of them. So you can list other concerns which you have to this. So we want to resolve our concerns. Usually what we do is, as it is given here, for resolution, we try to address these in piecemeal, one by one. We make effort for personality development, stress management, memory enhancement, anger management, and so on. There are other, say, maybe agencies also who are giving you such kind of, say, ready-made solutions. To manage stress, they have some solution. To manage anger, they may have some other solution. To enhance memory, they may have some other solution. But what we discuss here is, like, as you can see in the next slide, the basic issue is lack of right understanding of all these concerns. Okay, the basic issue or the root cause is the lack of right understanding. So when we try to ensure right understanding at all the 4 levels of being, then almost all the concerns can be resolved. That is a basic or the simple proposal. So when we do not understand the reality, we are not able to live with fulfillment with that reality. So if you do not understand human being, we are not able to live with the fulfillment within. Okay. So we want to explore the outcome of understanding the reality human being. So that is the first thing which we are going to explore now. Who is a human being? Will we be able to live with fulfillment within? Will our concerns at the individual level get resolved? Yeah. So let us try to understand human being. Who is a human being? And then find out our concerns can be, if our concerns can be resolved. So that is why we go into this particular slide, okay, which discusses about human being. Human being is proposed as a coexistence of self and the body. Okay, body is something which is tangible, we can see that. So that is a material entity. The needs of the body and needs of the self and the body are given here. Activities of the self and the body are given here. So when you look at the body, which is tangible and which we can see, the needs of the body are physical facilities only, like food, clothes, shelter, etc. In time, they are temporary in nature, and in quantity, they can be quantified. Right? Like required and limited quantity, like how much food do you require? This can be quantified. How much, how many pieces of how many pairs of clothes do you require? This also can be quantified, and other things which are required for the body can also be quantified. So this is a body is a material. So material is fulfilled by material only. Physiochemical things, what we say, right? Fulfilled by physiochemical things. Activities of the body are also like eating, walking, etc. They also are temporary. They also are intermittent. Whereas when we look at the human being is not body alone. Because the decision which I make, the words which I speak now, it is not spoken by my body. Well, I use the body as an instrument only in that in speaking these words. There are several muscles participating in that, but those muscles are participating because of my decision. So the decision maker is not the body, but the self. And the needs of the self are continuous in nature. Happiness, when we say we want continuity of happiness, that is basic human aspiration, that is the need of the self. Respect is a need of the self. Trust, all those feelings which we discussed are needs of the self. They are all qualitative. I cannot say I want say 3 kilograms of respect right now. So there is no qualitative, there is no quantity for those needs of the self. And the needs of the self are fulfilled by right understanding and right feeling. So we are working for this. When we discuss about the nature towards the end of this lecture, we see that all the units in nature are in harmony except for the human self. That is the final thing, right? So we are trying to ensure harmony in the human self at all the 4 levels. So for that, what is required is right understanding and right feeling. Okay, so this is the need of the self only. Okay, activities of the self are also continuous in nature, like imagination. all of us, this desire, thoughts, expectation process is happening continuously. If you look at what is happening within you can see that even during sleeping, even when we are not aware, this DTE, desire, thought, expectation, are happening continuously. Right. So activities as well as need of the self are continuous in nature. So that is how we differentiate the self and the body. But human being is proposed as a coexistence of self and the body. Now, if you can see a human being like this and every other human being is similar to me, then the concerns can be resolved one by one. Any questions up to this? Okay, whenever you have a question, you can raise your hand and ask the question. You can type in the chat box also. So we then proceed to resolution of concerns in session number 5. So the concerns are grouped over here. The major concerns are finally leading towards peer pressure. We want to be accepted by the others. For that, there are certain things which we may have to follow, like kind of our acceptance, but may not be natural acceptance. So we think that we will be accepted when we are like them. Like them means like our peers, like others, like other students, or better than them in how we look, how we dress, how we talk, what we eat, what we drink, etc. So there is a pressure to be like them or better than them in appearance, clothes, language, expression, etc. Those who speak English may be getting more attention, for example. Those who wear a good dress may get good attention. So yeah, there is a question, I think, how understanding others will resolve stress, depression. So what we say is not understanding others. This is asked by Santoshji. What we say here is right understanding in oneself, first of all, and then right understanding with the other human beings. So first of all, we have to look into ourselves. What we say is human being is a coexistence of self and the body. So we have to understand that, and right understanding and right feeling, that is going to be discussed in detail in the coming sections. And understanding ourselves and understanding others with the right feeling, that will resolve stress, depression, and other concerns. We will discuss them one by one. When we in the subsequent Wednesday meetings, we are going to discuss this in detail. So here we are going to have a concise kind of a recap of all those sessions, and we are going to see each and every of these sessions in detail. Then maybe your question could be resolved or your question could be answered in much detail. Okay, let us first of all look into ourselves, myself. What is happening within me? Let me try to understand that. Let me have the right understanding of myself, and then let me try to understand the other. How during interaction, how the feelings between me and the other is transferred, right? And then if I have a stress, what is the actual reason for that stress? Depression, what is the reason for the depression? When I am in a position, when I am not in harmony, I may go into depression. So what can be the possible solution for that? We will seek for that. We will seek the solution. Okay, let us continue further. And then this is a big question. So we are, if it is to be answered completely, we are required to see the content in detail. Okay, so in short, I would say that let us try to understand ourselves first, and then with the interaction with other human beings, let us see how the feelings are going to be transferred. Okay, with the feeling of say affection, with the feeling of relatedness with the other, let us try to interact with the other. That is what I can say right now. So the peer pressure, which we say here, mostly the concerns are finally converging into the kind of peer pressure. Even the other is in the same state. So when we say that we are in some state like this, we have to be accepted by the other. The other is also almost in the same state. The other is also wishing to be accepted. Other is also undergoing this peer pressure, asking for being accepted by you. Yeah, I think somebody has unmuted. Any question? Okay, fine.
I think there is a question on the chat, Bhaiya, which I think can be responded.
Yeah, Didi, I responded to that already. So would you like to add something to that?
No, it's okay. I just missed.
Okay, Didi. In fact, if you want to respond to that in full, we need to discuss about the feelings also. That is why I conserved my response to a few sentences right now. Okay, so usually to overcome the peer pressure, we go about like 1 and 2. If you assume that happiness may be ensured by favorable feelings from others, we try to get these feelings from them by way of being ahead of others and seeking a likeness. Being ahead of others means in terms of appearances, clothes, language, and expression. Seeking a likeness, a belongingness with a specific group. Yeah, because the other are doing it. Maybe there are small groups in hostels. So if you are part of some group, you may be having a feeling that you'll be accepted. If you're part of some other group, you may not be. It can be, the groups can be like, say, for some purpose. Maybe they're politically oriented, or maybe class-wise oriented, or some other kind of, maybe gender oriented, or for some other purpose. So when you look from outside, you see that some groups are doing well. So you wish to be a part of that group. And you tend to believe that that is going to give you some kind of acceptance. That is also a form of peer pressure. So being ahead of others and seeking a likeness, this is what is happening. And many a times this will result in what we see here as, say, sometimes depression, sometimes some kind of stress. So these two become the major sources of peer pressure, because sensation and preconditioning are the major sources of this. So what we can do? So when we copy or adopt things from others blindly, living on the basis of others, that leads to indefinite contact. Blindly copying how others are, what kind of dress others are wearing. Let me also wear that kind of a dress, for example. Or yeah, what kind of mannerism somebody is following. Let me also follow that kind of a mannerism. So what kind of language others are, maybe like foul language also. So if I also follow that, I may be getting some kind of attention. That is leading towards indefinite contact. So what happens is, sometimes I may be happy and sometimes I may be sad. That is decided by the other. This conduct is decided by the other, and that is peer pressure. Copying from the other. That's what we say. Then arbitrariness, that is another thing. Living on the basis of one's own likes or dislikes, without referring to the natural acceptance. This also leads to indefinite contact. There again, sometimes happy, sometimes sad. So I do not listen to the other person. So that may become like a rebel reaction. Okay, rebellism, and always we instead of responding, we react to the situations. This is also happening in the institutions. So this also may lead to indefinite contact, right? But with right understanding, living on the basis of natural acceptance. That is, if somebody is having some kind of a dress, and if I am not blindly copying it, but if I have my natural acceptance, or the natural acceptance as dress or clothes are required for protection of the body, and then if it's an institution, we require uniform clothes, right? So this kind of natural acceptances, if it is going into my living, then that may lead to definite contact. I just give you one example only, so you can have other examples also. For food, for example, another example. Sometimes we may tend to take the food which is taken by others for getting attention. but through our natural acceptance, we know that food is required for nurturing our body. That is the right understanding. So sometimes knowingly or unknowingly, we take the food in these two states without, maybe sometimes knowing or without knowing that the food is harmful, that kind of food is harmful for the body, then that may lead to indefinite contact. But if we can rightly understand the quality as well as the type of food, if it is not good for my health, I can omit that and I can go to a healthy kind of a food. So these are only two examples. So other examples you can find out from your experience. So if you go by our natural, referring to our natural acceptance with right understanding, living by that will lead to definite contact. That is leading us to always happy, and that is a self-organized kind of a living. That is a proposal here. So we will explain this in detail when we discuss about this particular section in our subsequent sessions. Any questions up to this? All right. Then we went on to discuss about understanding health in the 6th session. So there, again, we start with the human being as a coexistence of self and the body. Then need of the human self is happiness. It is continuous. Need of the body, which is material, that is physical facility. So the need of the self is fulfilled by right understanding and right feeling. And then we bring to the health aspect. Health is required for the body. Physiochemical things are required for the body. So feeling of self-regulation is the feeling of responsibility towards the body for nurturing, protection, and rightly utilizing the body. The body acts according to the self. Parts of the body are in harmony. The body is an instrument of the self. When we say right utilization of the body, all these instruments which we are using, the articles which you are using, you use a pen for writing, for example, right? So that is helping you to write down. Yeah, there is an instrument. You use a vehicle, maybe a cycle, or it can be a bicycle or a motorcycle or a car or other public transport, whatever, for traveling from your house to the institution. And that is also for rightly utilizing your body. If you walk all the way, suppose the institution is far away. If you walk every day, that may not be good for the health of the body, right? And your feelings also may change sometimes. Study may not be proper if you do that. So for right utilization of the body, you require a vehicle. All right. For nurturing, the healthy food is required. So that is also coming from the feeling of self-regulation. Protection, what you require. The kind of clothes which you choose for the protection of the body, not for just for fashion, but for protecting your body. So this self-regulation, this feeling is there in the self. And when the self is having this feeling, the body will be having health. The body acts according to the self, and parts of the body are in harmony. All right. The body is used as an instrument by the self. Then further we discuss about the program for health, for staying healthy. The first thing which you require is intake of air, water, sunlight, food, etc. And daily routine, lifestyle, following the circadian cycle. Right, when to get up, when to take the right food, when to do exercise, all these things, and when to get back to bed, when to take your say the breakfast, lunch, dinner, etc. These things, there is a particular rhythm which you can follow, particular cycle which you can follow. Right, labor and exercise. So labor means you can work in your courtyard also. You can work maybe in the say kitchen garden or the vegetable garden which is close to the kitchen, or maybe your terrace garden, wherever. That is going to produce something Whereas when you do exercise, that is good for health of the body, but that may not produce anything. But both are okay. You can choose whichever is applicable to you. That is fine. Then the postures for regulating internal and external body organs and regulated breathing. So how you are sitting right now is also what matters. When you sit in the classroom, sometimes you may lean back, and you stretch your legs sometimes, right? When you sit, sometimes you sit erect, right? Now, when I speak this, including me, somebody would have changed their posture. Just see what is happening within you. So this is another thing. That is third thing. Then the fourth thing is medicine, medicine as well as treatment. So the program for health is now given in 3 boxes. Say box A for staying healthy, box B for bringing body back to harmony from temporary disharmony. So whenever there is a disease in the body, we go for medication. And sometimes, as given in this black box, sometimes we may have to depend upon some kind of drug or machine to perform a body function. Treatment may be required. All right. So the priority can be like this. You can give priority to this yellow box first. For staying healthy, we can follow these routines. And then in extreme case only, whenever it is required only, we can go for B and C. So the priority can be A, B, and C. Or it can be 1, 2, 3, and 4, likewise. So intake includes air, water, sunlight, food, etc. Food nutritious, digestible, and tasty, and waste is excretable. So a separate section on health is being conducted every Friday from 7:30 to 8:30 p.m. So all of you are welcome to attend that also, particularly on health. So everything, the routines are discussed in whatever is given in this slide is discussed in detail in that. Yeah, all intake through our senses, sound, sight, smell, etc. That is also part of intake. Then rising time, sleeping time, eating time, circadian cycle. How are we following the circadian cycle? Outcome of labor is production of physical facility, and no physical facility is produced by exercise. So this also has been discussed. Any question with regard to this slide up to the section number 6 or session number 6? Only 1 or 2 slides are taken from each session and being discussed in the recap session. So once we come to right understanding with regard to the health of the body and self-regulation, then we move into the relationships, because the human being, the self of the human being requires something more than this, right? That is right relationship. So we start with the foundation of the relationship, that is trust. And many of the issues like anger, mistrust, fear, etc. can be overcome once we are ensured of this feeling trust with others. So there are the major proposal here in trust is this. We ask these questions to ourselves as well as others. Okay, there are 2 tables on the left and right. On the left, these questions are asked to me, first of all, myself, to you, yourself. Okay. I want to make myself always happy. Do I? I want to make the other always happy. Do I? The other wants to make me. The other wants to make herself or himself always happy. What do you think on this? The other wants to make me always happy. What do you think? Initially, we can see the first 3 questions with a tick mark or with yes as the response, because that is following my natural acceptance. But when it is asked whether the other wants to make me always happy, then we are confused about this initially. But the proposal here is that when all these questions 1A to 4A are of our natural acceptance, 4A automatically follows from 2A. because I can see that I want to make the other always happy. So as a consequence, since the other is similar to me, the other also wants to make me always happy. And that is what we refer to as intention or the natural acceptance. So trust is to be assured that the other wants to make me always happy. That is a proposal. Trust is to be assured that the other wants to make me always happy. Unconditionally, yeah. Please convey how many MA NIT Bhopal students attend today. So we cannot, there is no kind of number like that is available with us. Okay. So the whatever the students write as their name in the maybe in their Zoom login window, that is available here. Okay, sir. So what you see on the right is about our ability. Yeah. Okay, sir. Thank you. You can see two boxes here. The box above is my ability or my competence. When I say ability, it is my competence. So the statement is, I am able to make myself always happy. So that is there is a question mark, because my ability, I cannot say with my ability, am I able to make myself always happy? I will say sometimes, not always. I am able to make the other always happy. Do I? This also has a question, because I'm not sure about this. That depends upon my ability, right? Abilities or the competence vary from person to person. So this 1B and 2B, they belong to my ability, and 3B and 4B, they belong to the other person's ability. Okay. The other is able to make herself, himself always happy, and the other is able to make me always happy. They belong, these two questions belong to, or these two proposals belong to the other person's ability or competence. So competence may differ from person to person. That depends upon our imagination. And this is something which we can work upon. I can, first of all, work to improve my competence. And when I see that the other is having better competence than me, then I can seek help from the other to improve my competence. When we see that the other is lacking in competence and I am better, then I can try helping the other to improve his competence, his or her competence, subject to establishing a relationship with the other. Okay, that is the content of trust. Yeah. So one of the concerns what we discussed in the previous slides is anger. Anger usually happens because anger arises when we are not able to differentiate between intention and competence of the other. So based on lack of competence of the other, we doubt over their intention. Okay, once we have a doubt on the intention of the other, then instead of relating to the other, we feel in opposition to the other. So we evaluate the other person's competence as the intention. That is what is happening. Okay. Thus, any small unfavorable incidents may lead to irritation or even anger. Right. So we can see that the intention of every human being is same because the other is similar to me. And if you can see that the intention is same, then I can trust everyone. But what I work upon is competence of me, first of all. And then if, as we discussed just now, I may be able to help to improve the competence of the other also. So solution, as it is given here, if I understand the human being correctly, then I'm able to see the other is a human being like me. That is the most important thing. The other is a human being, which is a coexistence of self and the body. The other self has the intention, that is natural acceptance, to be happy and make other happy, just like me. That is another important thing. So intention of the other is also same as me. The other may be lacking in competence to fulfill their intention, just like I am lacking in. I may be lacking. So I can first of all try myself improving my competence and then help other to improve his or her competence. So with trust on intention, we feel related to the other. Then there is no feeling of anger. So this is what we are trying to become, or we are trying to be, to this concern, anger, to eliminate that or to reduce anger. We can see what is given below in this yellow box. We trust with trust on intention. We feel related to the other, and then there is no feeling of anger. Any questions up to here? So this I can just, yeah, session 8 is on video discussion on right here, right now. There, what we discuss is there are series of incidents in that right here, right now video, where sometimes reactions are being transferred, sometimes responses are being transferred. So when we say reaction, you decide your feeling based on the behavior of the other. So when the other is angry, I also become angry. When the other is calm, I also will become calm. It goes on like that. That is, my remote control is with the other. And if that is the case, then I am enslaved. But when we respond in place of reaction, you decide your feeling on your own right. So when the other is angry, I may not become angry because I can see that I am in harmony, and I can help the other to come to harmony. Right. So it is based on right understanding. You always have the right feeling. It is definite and unconditional. The behavior of the other is only an indicator of the state of the other. So when the other behaves with opposition, with disharmony, I can understand that that is just a state of that person, and that will change. I can be in harmony, and accordingly, I can bring bringing the other to harmony. So with that input, you decide your behavior to ensure mutual happiness. Right. So you decide your behavior when you are responding and you are self-organized, and then the conduct is definite. In the other case, when we try to react, then the conduct is going to be indefinite, and you are enslaved. So this is the content of response and reaction. This also is a concern. Reaction is also a concern. So we can try to respond to the situations irrespective of what is happening with the other person. And when you are in harmony, then the other person will also tend to come to harmony. We can try this, experience this. Okay. Then we discussed about respect in session number 9. Respect is, as it is discussed here, right evaluation of intention and competence. So issues of lack of self-confidence, ego, depression, peer pressure, differentiation, etc., they can be addressed in this respect part. So the key proposals are given here. Respect is right evaluation on the basis of the self. We can see that my purpose, my program, and my potential is same as the other. So my purpose is, or our purpose is natural acceptance. That is same. My program is to be in harmony with all the levels of being. That is same as the program of the other, to serve the purpose or to meet the purpose. And the potential is same. Everybody is having the same potential, but the competence may be different. Potential and competence are two different things. So competence is the ability part, and potential is how you are actually using that competence, how you are improving it. So the power is there, as potential is there in every person, but the competence level may be different. We can improve the competence level. So the other is similar to me, that is a minimum content of respect. And on the basis of right evaluation of our mutual competence, I recognize our complementarity and fulfill it. That is what we discussed just now. If the other has more understanding or is more responsible than me, then I am committed to understand from the other. If I have more understanding than the other, I am more responsible than the other, I live with responsibility with the other, unconditionally, unperturbed by the behavior of the other. I'm committed to facilitate understanding in the other. So once the other is assured in relationship and not before that, that is very important. And this is the complete content of respect. The other is similar to me. We are complementary to each other. So if you can see this, the right evaluation of the on the base of the self, of the intention and the competence, then many of the issues like peer pressure, depression, anger can be rid of. That is a proposal. Any questions? So we have a few more things to be covered right in this recap. And from the next session onwards, we will discuss this bit by bit. So you can also request your colleagues to join from next meeting onwards. So where we are going to restart the things from session number 1. Okay. So it's an opportunity for every one of you, each and every one of you, and including me, to revisit the content and to see the proposals again, verify it. If you miss something, we can try to catch up that. So peer pressure, there is a separate slide given for that. When we try to get respect from the other, we have to conform to their way of looking things and doing things on their way. We want to get attention, attraction, etc. For that, we try to get respect from the other. So following their language, following their clothes, etc., that we discussed just now, this becomes a major source of peer pressure. When I have the feeling of respect on the basis of understanding of human being, as discussed in this session, I will have the feeling of respect for everyone, including myself. So I can have the right understanding of the human being. I can see the other as a human being who is similar to me. And I can evaluate myself and the other human being on the basis of his and mine intention as well as competence. And then I can act accordingly with the right understanding, referring to my natural acceptance. Therefore, I don't have to be dependent on getting feeling from the other, and hence will not be under pressure to conform to the other. So on the basis of this, we can try eliminating or reducing the peer pressure. Then in session number 10, other feelings are discussed. So there are 9 feelings. So if you rightly say verify the proposals in this, issues like interaction versus ragging, cooperation versus competition, gratitude versus ungratefulness, love versus infatuation, this also can be resolved. What we say as affection is being related to the other, acceptance of the other as one's relative. The other is like me. So this is the relation between, say, me and my parents, me and my family members, me and my close friends, which we can see very easily. The other relative is very close to me, and the feeling of me for them, that is affection. One has a responsibility and commitment for mutual fulfillment in the relationship. That is something which we can see very easily, but we may not be able to see this with the other human being who is not familiar to me. Opposition, jealousy, etc. are an indication of the absence of affection. Right. Interaction and ragging. This is also a concern. Ragging is a concern. So what is acceptable to you, or what is naturally acceptable to you? Is it interaction or ragging? When that is discussed in detail, finally, the students may say that interaction is acceptable, naturally acceptable, and not ragging. Well, ragging may have acceptance only in the form of peer pressure. Of course, a welcoming, healthy interaction is a must, because we are a member of the same institute family. We'll be staying together for 3-4 years, usually for the degree program or the BTech program. Thus, we are related to each other. We want to know each other so that we can be of help for each other in the process of understanding and learning together. So their interaction is required with a feeling of relationship. And ragging is with a feeling of opposition. That is a difference. Reverence is the another feeling which is discussed, the feeling of acceptance for excellence. Those who have achieved excellence. Excellence, what is discussed as excellence is understanding harmony and living in harmony at all the 4 levels of being: individual, family, society, and nature and existence. So there are people like that. So the feeling which we have for them, that is known as reverence. Continuous happiness is the result. Note that excellence is in terms of right understanding and right feeling. It is different from skill. So whenever we hear about excellence, so suddenly we tend to think of in terms of skills. So when we speak about competence, competence is also not of that of skill. Skill is becoming a very small part of our competence. But understanding harmony at all the 4 levels is our competence finally. And those who have achieved that level of excellence, we have reverence for them. Of course, while working for excellence, learning skills is far more easy. Not for competition, but for excellence. So here we have a slide which is showing the difference between excellence and competition. I'm not going in detail because we have reached almost time. So quickly, I go to the recap and finish this particular session. So the excellence is the other is like me. We are complementary. Competition, I have to be above others. I want to be first always in the class. I have to dish down others. I am opposing my my competitor. That is my feeling in that. But the feeling which I can have is I can help the other also to learn. We are complementary. There is a feeling of relationship. Whereas in competition, there is a feeling of opposition. Right. So we can go through this slide in detail. Help the other to come to his level. Operates on the basis of natural acceptance, right evaluation of oneself. These are part of excellence. Self-referential, has a holistic view, absolute. But competition is exactly opposite of that. It is relative. Gratitude, feeling for those who have made effort in terms of providing help in the process of my development. My development means my excellence. So the feeling which I have for my teachers, for my parents, etc., for those who are working directly or indirectly in helping improving my excellence. So some people we may not know. Some people may know directly. So we have gratitude for all those people. That is what is being discussed. Those who have helped me in developing right understanding and right feeling, and also those who have provided me with the necessary physical facility. So gratitude is significant in the development of relationship. Then the universal value or the complete value, which is love. Related to none is opposition. Related to one or many is affection. The feeling of being related to all is love. So infatuation and lust, etc., can be differentiated from love. This is what we refer to as love. The feeling of being related to every other human being and every other unit in nature. That is it. Affection is a feeling of being related to the other, but love is a feeling of related to all. That is a complete value. So this is a slide on sensation, preconditioning, and right understanding related to love. So lust, etc., are sensations. Getting from the other, that is sensation. Preconditioning is kind of infatuation. You should have kind of a statement like you should have at least say 2 or 3 girlfriends or boyfriends by this time. That is a kind of a preconditioning. Continuity is not possible in both the cases, but if it is with right understanding, then there is continuity. Love is feeling of being related to all, responsible towards all, giving to all. Once all the other feelings are ensured within, then the feeling of being related to all follows naturally. Right. Further, we discussed about society. We quickly go to the basic human goal. So this is the human goal. Right understanding and right feeling in every individual, prosperity in every family, because family consists of human beings having right understanding and right feeling, fearlessness in the society, and coexistence in the nature. The goals are interconnected. Once we have right understanding and right feeling ensured in every individual, other goals automatically follow. But we are currently in this state, so transformation from this state to this state is what is expected. In nature also, we saw that there are 4 orders in nature: the physical order, bio order, animal order, and human order. There is a cyclic as well as mutually enriching fulfillment between the physical, bio, and animal order. But when human order comes into play without right understanding, this is a status. Giving back is not there, but there is getting from the physical order, bio order, and animal order to human order. But when human beings have natural acceptance to be mutually fulfilling, then with right understanding, we can reach, we can pay back to the physical order through, say, water conservation, air purification, or not letting the air to be polluted, soil conservation, etc., etc. Bio order, we can say plant trees, herbs, etc. We can help animals also to grow. That is through right understanding. So human beings can understand and the mutual fulfillment and be fulfilling for all the 4 orders. So that is it about the recap. So we do not want problems. What we want is to be always happy and prosperous. We want to be healthy. We want to live in relationship in the family, with friends, in the institution, etc. With every human being, we want to live in a just and equitable society, and we want to have a conducive natural environment. For fulfilling our aspirations, we have to understand, ensure the right feeling in ourselves, and participate in a meaningful manner in the larger system, in the family. So there is every provision for this. Only we have to make the effort. That is it. So this is our desired state. This is the human goal, and these are the requirement for to fulfill the basic aspiration, the right understanding, relationship, and physical facility. That is the human consciousness, desirable state. So this is our current state, animal consciousness, where all these activities are happening without any right understanding and right feeling. So we are all of us are in a transformation from this state to this state. So we want our institution to be a living example. So we have to work for that. People living with human consciousness give rise to a human society. All of us wish to travel from here to there. We are in the process. The program of action is to understand harmony and live in harmony at all the 4 levels. Self-exploration is a process for that. And I want to discover what I really want to be, what is my natural acceptance, my intention, and guide what I am with this. My desire, thought, expectations are expected to be guided by what I really want to be. Self-awareness and self-evaluation are also part of the process. So finally, education program for adults, this is happening. People with right understanding and right feeling are educating the parents, teachers, policymakers, etc. That is what is happening right now by the AICTE. And for the children, for the students, people with right understanding and right feeling are educating the children by introducing courses in the academic curriculum, socially relevant projects, and conducive environment. People with definite human conduct. The competence to participate in universal human order is happening there. Then under society, universal human order, the human goal is expected to be fulfilled. And once we achieve this, the final destination will be family, family cluster, village, village cluster, nation, and a world family. For that, in the first 10 years, 1 crore people will be educated, right? And each one can educate in the next 10 years another 10 persons. So in the next 10 years, like it started from 2010 onwards. So by 2020, 2022, almost like 1 crore people. Maybe it may take some more time. So after that, in the next 10 years, each one of maybe I can also educate another 10 people. You can also educate another 10 people. The number will multiply to 10 crore. And in another 100 years, the number may go up to 1,000 crore. That is the aim. And the human population is almost like 800 crores only. And still, you have a question? And still?
No, sir, no questions as of now, sir.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay. Then with 20 to 50 years, all the education institutions will be having this program. That is what is expected. And undivided society, within 10 to 20 years, we can start fulfillment of human goal in all the societies. So that is the proposal. Okay. So this is the recap of all the sessions. I went through very quickly, and I exceeded time also. But now, if you have any questions, you can ask me. And then from the next session onwards, from next Wednesday session onwards, we will discuss each of these sessions one by one in detail. Okay, so my request is all of you may attend the program again from next Wednesday onwards, and also request your colleagues, your friends also to attend the program. Okay, that is an opportunity for them to explore further, to improve their self-exploration, and to verify the proposals, and finally to live as a like a world family with human consciousness. All right. Any questions? Anything which you would like to share? Okay, I think we can close the session. Didi? Ila Didi?
Yeah, surely. Namaste to all.
Namaste to all. Thank you very much.
Thank you and namaste. Good night.
Thank you.